Recorded. Great morning, everybody. Welcome to the Diamond Factory, Tuesday through Friday, where we come together as like minded individuals ready to be empowered, instructed, sometimes corrected, give us directions, marching orders, whatever we need to grow and to develop as we understand that this whole system, network marketing, is about personal development with a compensation plan. So we're so glad to be here today. Today is election day, and we hope that you have already voted or you are on your way to vote and let your cast your vote. Just do that. No, whatever that is going to be, cast your vote. I'm going to get out the way and let the man of God, our coach, our teacher, oh man, he just gives us everything that we need every time he opens up his mouth. World renowned, such a demand for him, and we're so blessed to be the recipient of the things that come out of him every time he shares with us. Our VP of training and development, Coach Dan Johnson. Dan, I just unmuted you. Take it away, sir.
Dr. Roz in the building, y'all. Y'all put y'all hands together all over the country for one of the hardest working ladies in this particular business, Dr. Roz. I trust and pray you're doing well on this morning.
Outstanding, sir.
Good, good, good. Well, it's good to be here with you on this Tuesday morning. This is probably going to be one of the most historical Tuesdays of our time. Dr. Roz has already said, get out the vote. And for those of you that's still on the fence about why you should vote, I'll just say this, and then I'm gonna move right into what I'm gonna discuss. If affordable health care is important to you, you gotta vote. If the right to bear arms and sensible gun laws is important to you, you gotta vote. If the economy, a strong economy and money in your pocket is important, you gotta vote. And if quality education for all is important, you got to vote. And the truth of the matter is, your vote really does count. Regardless of what you may think, your vote counts because they're counting votes. And it's based on the votes that they count is going to determine who's going to occupy that White House. And so voting is essential. And if you don't vote for yourself, vote for those that you love. Vote for those that you love. When I go cast votes, I don't vote based on where I am because I believe that I'm political proof. I'm politic proof. No matter who in that White House, I'm going to be okay. But I vote for the least of them. And because it's what you do to the least of them and for the least of them is what we've done for the Father. Here's the thing, as I shift very quickly, I was in a meeting on yesterday morning at about 7 a.m. as I am on the prowl of hiring a new executive assistant, one that has the capacity to keep me in check and to manage me. And one of the things that we began to talk about yesterday is the ability to execute and how everybody that's around me, they get paid based on what's produced. Life happens, and the quality of life you live is based on what you're able to produce while you're living it. And the issue with productivity is that we're trying to produce something. Y'all catch this. Catch this. This is going to be good for you. I want you to catch it. We're trying to produce something in the midst of everything. We're trying to produce something in the midst of everything. And the challenge in trying to produce something in the midst of everything is that oftentimes something gets lost. It gets lost in the midst of sickness. It gets lost in the midst of disappointment. It gets lost in the midst of work. It gets lost in the midst of family. It gets lost in the midst of fear. It gets lost in the midst of insecurity. So while you're on the road seeking to produce something, it gets lost in the midst of everything. I had an experience that took place on Saturday. And this experience was, I had taken my son and my brother to a real estate conference for the weekend as I continue to work on producing bosses in them so I can produce retirement in me. Amen. I like the way that sounds. But at any rate, and so on Saturday, I dipped out. Why? Because in seeking to produce bosses in them, my son had a basketball game, 2 basketball games. So I had to leave there so that I can go and be with him. Y'all see that? I'm producing something in the midst of everything. But when I came back, something happened. Everything in my body began to shut down. I began to have fevers. I was freezing cold. I was hot at the same time. My chest was tight. Breathing was difficult. It was something I had not experienced in a long time. So immediately when the conference concluded, I could barely walk and all of that. It was just a lot of drama. My body was going through drama. I was like, really? Are you for real? This is what we doing? And so I go to the hospital. They check all of the boxes off and they said, we're not going to die. All of your tests came back negative. And I'm telling you, I don't know if any of y'all watched The Resident, but this dang on hospital, they was just like, they reminded me of Chastain. They were so thorough. They gave me every test. I was like, God dang on, this bill going to be high as heck. But at any rate, so everything came back negative. They said it's a virus that you're just going to have to go through it and allow it to work its way out of your system. And so that Sunday I had to teach at church. I had talked to the intercessors that night, asking them to pray. And so there was a bet and nobody bet against me, that if they let Dan out that hospital, he's going to be at church. And not only that, but my brother and my son said that if he get out of that hospital, he's coming back to the conference. Now, I didn't know all of this was happening. All this chit chatter was around me. But it was they knew it because they knew that I had to produce, that I was in the middle of producing something. And as long as the doctors told me, now listen up, you guys, if the doctors would not have said to me that everything was negative and I was going to be all right, I would have done whatever I needed to do to make certain that I'd be all right. However, because they said that everything was negative and I was going to be all right, I realized I just had to fight through this discomfort. I had to fight through this pain because I had something to produce. Some of us are not able to execute our something because we get distracted by everything. We allow the everything that happens in life to be an excuse as to why we could not get something done. Man, I hope this is helping somebody as much as it helped me just talking to you about it. And so what I'm going to do, there's 5 things I'm going to give you real quick in the next 5 to 6 minutes or so that as I'm talking is going to come to me that I want to help you out. I want to help you out. One of the things that I've learned in that, from that meeting yesterday with the potential hire to be my executive assistant, she asked me, what does my day look like today? And instead of me rambling off the top of my head, thinking about what I had to do, I showed her my schedule. And she saw that I had 5 meetings that was set from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m., 5 meetings. Then I showed her my to-do list, I call it productivity list. Some people call it to-do list. My productivity list had about 9 items that I had to execute before the day was out. Now, I said to her, barring any emergencies, I will execute this today without fail. And I think I executed about 90% of it. Unfortunately, I fell asleep during one of the times that I set aside as I'm fighting through what I have to fight through. But the reality is I executed it. You cannot execute what you have not planned. So number one, you have to begin, if you're going to be able to produce something in the midst of everything, you're going to have to prioritize your day. You're going to have a clear vision. Your day must be a day of goals that you are committed to achieve. You got to look at the whole picture of where you're trying to go, and you got to break it down in bite-sized pieces and how you're going to get there. It's very important that you develop a concrete roadmap for productivity, and that's your productivity list. What do I need to accomplish today? The second thing that you got to do is you should have, as I've taught Miss Phyllis, and I've taught a bunch of CEOs and different people that I work with, what I call time blocking and structured schedules. Miss Phyllis will tell you that she would call me at certain times, and I'll just simply quickly say, hey, I'll call you after this. Why? Because I've set aside that particular time specifically to accomplish this particular thing. It's called time blocking. And when you learn how to block off time for productivity, you'll find that you'll get a lot more done. And the only thing that will distract me or hinder me from completing the task within the time that I have allotted to complete it in is an emergency. Now notice, the emergency is what I determine an emergency. And I don't allow somebody else's negligence to constitute my emergency. Are y'all hearing me? So because somebody else was negligent, and now their negligence has created urgency for them, that does not equate emergency for me. I have this that I must do, and I must do this right now. Last night, I was sitting at basketball practice with my son. Y'all notice I'm still doing life being productive. I'm not saying I was sick so I couldn't get it done. I'm not saying that I'm at my son's basketball practice so I couldn't get it done. I gave myself a goal that I had to complete the layout for a website of an organization that I'm consulting for, and I had to do it before practice was over. That's time blocking, right? So you got to have time blocking because time blocking is so important that what it does is it allows you to schedule focused work periods, and it limits the multitasking. Because I don't really believe in multitasking, y'all. When you're doing multiple things at the same time, you're not completing them all at the same time. You finish one, you move to the others. But that's neither here nor there. And number 3 is you got to eliminate distractions. You got to eliminate distractions. You got to look in your life and be honest with yourself and identify the biggest distractions that's within your environment. For some of us, it's social media. We scroll trolls. Others, it's noisy spaces. We got too much noise around us. The TV is on. Our environment is noisy. It's chaotic. Now, me, I actually do well. I got 5 kids. They used to run around, play basketball, play baseball, do everything in the dang old house. And I'll be sitting right in the middle of them doing homework, studying for a test. And it didn't bother me. But if it bothers you, then you got to make certain that you create an environment that's not going to be distracting. Here's what else you have to do. Turn the phone off. Go a period of time, 1 hour, and be on Do Not Disturb. Don't turn it off, be on Do Not Disturb. And if you got children like me, I could do that, and my kids gonna call twice. They gonna know how to get to me. Number 4, stop procrastinating. Right now, one of the biggest issues I have with Kyle as I'm transitioning him to be a boss is the spirit of procrastination. You got to learn how to do the power of now. When I was doing the interview yesterday, I gave her this concept. She said she had never heard it. Now, watch this. She said, "Did you come up with that yourself?" I said, "Absolutely." She never heard it. She has multiple degrees, an MBA, and all of this stuff, and she never heard the power of now. We're in a meeting yesterday, and I said, "Kyle, we got to have our team meeting with all of our employees and everything. I want to do it Friday. I want to do it at this time. Find a taco place since 75% of our employees are Mexican." I said, find a taco place. They like tacos, y'all. He still hasn't done it. I said, do it now. He got distracted. The power of now. You got to learn that. If it's something that you can do right now, if it's something that'll take about 2 to 3 minutes to complete, 5 minutes to complete, why put that off till later? Why put that off till tomorrow? Stop what you're doing. Do it right now. Go to I got to use the bathroom. Take it with you. Do it right now. It's the power of now. Stop procrastinating. Stop talking about it. You talk so much about it and do nothing with it. Allow your actions to move faster than your mouth. Here's another one, and then I'm going to let y'all go. I don't even know what number I'm on. It's just stuff I'm thinking about. Every now and again, you got to review what you're doing. Every now and again, I step back and I evaluate. I review what my progress looks like. I make certain that I'm on track. And I make certain that I'm reaching the goals. And then if adjustments need to be made, I make the adjustments. Same thing with my team. I have a management meeting on Mondays. We go over all of our projects. We go over what's working, what's not working, what needs to be adjusted in order for us to be more productive, in order for us to be more profitable. These are essential, you guys. And the 5th thing that I want to give you, I believe it's the 5th thing, is you need somebody to help you to maintain accountability. You need a coach. You need a mentor. You need an accountability partner. You need somebody that you'll share your goals with, share your progress with. You need regular check-ins. I have that for myself. I am that for a lot of people, but I also have that for myself. I have people that I'm accountable to. You got to have somebody you're accountable to. So I'm going to give you this bonus one. You got to be willing to make investments in personal growth and personal development. So where there's gaps where you need to be filled, you can fill those gaps. Listen, I could do this all day, as y'all know. I'm going to stop right there. But the goal for today was to help to get you to sow a seed in your mind to begin to execute so that you can be successful in producing something in the midst of everything. All right, I'm going to pass this back to Dr. Ross. I want y'all to have a supernaturally wonderful kind of day. And until next time, as always, prosper and be blessed.
As always, thank you, Coach Dan. So much powerful information that we can use immediately. That's what's the wonderful thing, immediately. So listen, today is Election Day Tuesday. Is Dr. Betty on the line?
I'm right here. Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Betty. Dr. Betty, let us know
Can you hear me?
having our session this evening and what are we talking about?
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, awesome. So good morning, everybody. So today we're going to dive deeper again into our bitters detox and some of the benefits, the health benefits of doing it and sharing it with our friends and family. So join me tonight, bring your questions, and let's do it. Have a great
All right,
day.
fantastic. And immediately following, we'll just do a quick, while we're watching the election results, we'll do a quick check-in for everybody. Some of us have started bitters 4 days, started yesterday, so we'll see where everybody is. So we'll meet you there. All right. And then don't forget at 1 o'clock on tomorrow at the headquarters is your Do You Know Your Blood Type presentation. You want to invite somebody by there. Those that have been coming in the AM hours, you're getting a lot more people to attend. Sometimes they don't want to attend in the evening. So it's a grand opportunity for you to invite people, even if you're not in the Chicagoland area, and make sure you get them there. So, right, go out and have a great, wonderful, wonderful day, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.